Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's reading.
I just realized you can't see all my crystals, so for you it'll just keep building. How many crystals can Lissa have for one reading? Also, I didn't tell you this, Megan. I almost said off air. I've said that a couple times. I didn't tell you this, but I was encouraged to clear the space with sound.
I like sound clearing a lot. Mm.
Man, it really just keeps going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Space is cleared. Hi, friends. Ooh, I'm going to keep track of timestamps. So, welcome to your reading.
Welcome
Megan
to
and I are
your
very excited.
reading.
The energy feels in line with everything season 3, way more like
Yeah.
planted.
And
In this.
everything has been put on YouTube. That was my big project for the week. All of our backlog.
Woo woo. Yeah, you guys. And so yeah, every episode is now on YouTube if you want to listen to it there.
For whatever reason,
And
I mean, I felt called to do it, and I don't know why. And it was an immense amount of effort to go through and make videos for all of the episodes and export them and then upload them. But they're there, and I'm sorry to any of the 10 people who are following us on YouTube, because you probably got very annoyed at your feed because of me.
no, well, the feed maybe, but you
Yeah.
will stop getting updates. So like I've had tarot readers, all I watch on YouTube is van life and tarot stuff. Literally most of what I know about tarot is channeled or from a YouTube video. But or this book. What the fuck is tarot? Best book ever, FYI. But they'll stop, like I have tarot readers that I watch that I won't get notifications for because they post all their all the 12 zodiac signs at once, and then I won't get the update for it, and they'll be like, sorry, I did it all at once, so there's the cutoff for notifications or whatever.
Well, so I use YouTube by going to my subscribed page, and I go through that feed of all of the videos
Oh, I
for
get
my
it.
subscribed people. And I use YouTube mostly for educational videos, maker videos. I love to watch people make stuff, like vintage fashion stuff, like Rachel Matsky, um, and random food stuff. Like I like to watch cooking stuff. That's kind of like a comfort area for me, is to like watch people cook stuff.
I just got the hit to make a video of us making a video. I thought that would be fun. Everyone say hello.
Hello. I'm everyone, right?
Yes. Shaboop. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go, guys. This is going to be a little bit different. Sorry, I chipped my nail and I have OCD, so I can't not obsess about it. I don't feel like there's an overall energy. I feel like we just jump right in. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, it kind of feels like a rapid fire situation. The topic of today's reading is what's coming in February, because that starts
Two.
next week.
Two. Yeah. Ah.
Mhm.
Oof. Oof. Okay. So I'm going to be doing just overall what I see, and then Megan has a story for all of you. So starting off with group 1 here, we have the overall energy of the offering. These cards are so beautiful. They're called the Wild Unknown Archetype, and they're all based on Jungian psychology, myth, dream, and symbol stuff. The offering is a sacrifice. It's you giving something like up for the greater good. Actually, a really good example of this is like me being sober right now. So it's like when you decidedly make an offering to the universe, knowing that this is you stepping into alignment with your truth. And then, set that down. We have Two of Swords, which is a decision that you feel like it's feeling like blinded in a situation, like you have to make a decision, but you feel like you can't see the whole picture. However, bless me. You're just it's not a decision. You're being asked to trust your intuition. Like, that's it. It's just trust your intuition. There's something that you've been thinking about, like trust it, trust it, trust it. Page of Wands is fast moving energy of like you being in your passion, your purpose. And you, the way that she's throwing up that wand to me is like, fuck it all. Like, wee, here we go. And then we've got the energy of the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. 10 of Pentacles in reverse represents like the best of the best stability in terms of financial fulfillment. So like the house, the white picket fence, the Tesla car, the whatever you think that you want to gain materialistically on this physical plane, but it's in reverse. And then we have the King of Cups upright. The King of Cups is an intuitive being who's very much in touch with his emotions. At times, he can be like a recluse and withdrawn. Sometimes he can overindulge. But this energy is very much make the decision to trust your intuition. It's okay to have sort of fuck it mentality if it means that you're stepping into this bigger thing. And that's the overall energy.
Okie dokie. So for group one, and all of the groups actually, we're telling a story. So the first card is going to be where you are now. The second card is where you are going in February. The third card is what propels you to where you're going. What's the catalyst for that situation? And the fourth card is what you have learned or what you are going to gain from this experience. Lessons to be learned. So for group one, you're carrying too much. You are doing it all. You're carrying all the burdens. You're holding on to something in your life that just no longer serves you, to be honest. And because of that, you're really struggling with your place in the world. Where you are going, though, is this beautiful energy where it's divine and blissful and it's full of like alignment, and your relationships and everything around you is reflected in that. And it's a really beautiful energy to be moving into, but you have to let go of some of that weight. So your catalyst for this, the big message that I'm getting from this is going to be compassion, specifically for yourself, a little bit for others, to understand that no one's going to be able to do whatever it is that you're having to let go of as well as you, or the same way as you, but also for yourself, that it's okay to let go of what no longer serves you. And the lesson that you're going to be learning from all of this, so it's the King of Swords in reverse. So this is a lot about your inner truth, your inner power, your inner strength. You're going to be learning that you can do so many things that you didn't think that you could do by going through this experience. And for your message from Spirit, I forgot to mention that. I have an Oracle deck that I pulled a card for everyone from, is loosen your grip. So your guides are reminding you that it's okay to let go a little bit.
Can you hold up the 10 of Wands again?
I sure can. I put them all beside me. The 10 of Cups?
10 of Wands.
It was 10 of Cups.
No, 10 of Wands, though. That was the first one.
Oh, was it? Mm-hmm. Totally was.
Yeah, so check this out, guys. So, and it's in reverse, right? So
yeah,
he's like letting go. Look at this. I want you to see these side by side. So, fuck. Sorry, that feels so good. Do you feel that? So it's literally like when it becomes too much, and then after, this is the very next card, after the 10 of Wands comes the Page of Wands. So that's a really beautiful energy to step into, because the burden gets too heavy. And like in the story of tarot, this is how it goes. Like the burden gets too heavy and then you release. You're like, fuck it. And you get that release energy, and then that's what you step into. So it feels like you're right now, like in that process.
Of letting go.
Yeah. And that can be really scary, but you can also move into it with that energy. It doesn't have to be like a, it can be like a, so.
Yeah, it feels to me like it's the difference in like reacting to a situation and being in control and mindfully and intentionally moving into that situation. So you get a little more control over how it looks for you and what your boundaries are in that situation.
And I also, I want to say to Megan, when you said, I just really like holding this microphone. I don't know why. I don't think I'll ever have the thing, because I just like to like nestle it.
The only thing is like with editing, your audio goes from like normal to really loud when you do it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's for
You
editing,
can do it
Megan,
however you want. I don't do
for
anything
editing,
with it, if I'm
Megan,
being
we
honest.
want to
I just
keep it consistent.
let it be.
Let it be. Let it be.
Because it doesn't bother me. Like it's not like a drastic like it's just louder. Go ahead.
Trying to keep a regular distance. You said something that was really interesting. You said it's okay to know that nobody's going to do the thing that you're doing as good as you're doing it. Still let it go anyways. So I'm sharing a personal story with group 2, so I'll leave the personal stories out of it. But for this group, but like sometimes there is something you're doing that isn't in alignment with what you want, and you know full well that you're the only one that can do it the way that you're doing it. Megan and I have both been there, and it's still not worth holding on to because it's not yours. Not. You might be really good at it. Good job. Pat yourself on the back, but still let it go. It's fine. The thing you actually want to do will be worth doing the way that you can do it anyways. That was convoluted, but you know what I mean.
It will feel so much better for you.
Yes. Okay.
Group 2.
Group 2. Let me do timestamps. All right, group 2. So I'm going to share a personal story with you. One that everyone on this Patreon already knows, but I have a feeling, and I haven't talked to Megan about this, but I have a feeling that this video in particular might be up on YouTube. Hence why we talked about YouTube. I think maybe we share one of our readings in full for people to get a little taste, and I think this might be the one. So I don't know why I said that just now. The overall energy for you is the castle. This is actually very Taurian energy. Tauruses love castles, right? It's a card that says
we do.
Yeah, but we're both Tauruses, FYI. It's so perfect, right? It's a card that says be careful of all the beautiful, lavish, and wonderful things because they might unintentionally stick you to a place that you don't want to stay in long term. However, it doesn't mean don't enjoy these beautiful things that you have right now, but also beware that maybe it's not the only good, beautiful things. Like there's also more. So like enjoy it, but also there's more. Oh, I know why I said that. So because I remember now, ADD and coffee. So here's why I'm explaining this. These are all in reverse. We've got the Ace of Cups. Cups represents the like emotions, the things that we feel. Ace of Cups is all about our heart's desire and a new beginning in reverse. We've got the 10 of Cups. So you've got a full circle here. You've got the Ace and the 10 of Cups. This, if it were upright, would represent like an entire cycle of a relationship going from the beginning, the brand new beginning, to the emotional fulfilling end where you have the couple in a hammock looking at their 2 kids in reverse. Then we have the Sun. This is ultimate happiness. It's pretty obvious in this card, also in reverse. And then we have the Fool, upright. So the Fool decided to walk away from all of this, or what it perceived to be the thing that was happy. It also likely had the energy of this castle. And then the overall energy here actually sort of tells a story. Megan will go more in depth. But then we have this, walking away. So this to me literally is the energy that I was in 2020. And maybe some of you felt this in 2020, and maybe some of you are going through this energy right now. The way that I experience energy as collectives is in waves. So a lot of times we go through things as waves. So maybe you are now going through the wave that I caught on in early 2020. But here's the energy you're stepping into. This is what Megan and I have created. This is when you move towards your passion, you step into your purpose, and you understand that it's okay to take that leap of faith, to walk away from all the things that you thought were going to bring you emotional fulfillment because you just didn't know yourself that good enough yet. Like you here's the thing. If this were upright, that would be what you wanted. but it's not. It's in reverse. And the way that I'm reading this intuitively is it could have never been what you thought. So this is the energy of knowing yourself and stepping into your power, and something that I was only capable of doing, making the sacrifice that I did. So Megan, what's the story on your end?
Okie dokie. So for group 2, where you currently are is where I often get this card for myself for where I'm at, the Hermit. So essentially what this means is that you are currently in a place of self-reflection. You are isolating yourself a bit more than you probably should. You're kind of searching and looking for the things in your life that have meaning to you. I mean, it might feel a little aimless, or it might feel perfectly in alignment and in tune with where you um, are right now. It kind of varies for me for how that feels. But essentially, you're going to be moving out of that energy. And for next month, and I hate to say you're moving into something bad, but next month you are going to be moving into this Empress in reverse energy, which is, for me, it typically, I don't know why I feel the need to relate it to myself, but typically this would mean something like a creative block, or like I'm stuck on something that I'm kind of spinning on. Um, it could also mean that you're like struggling with your relationships a bit. So your reliance on others, like you might feel like you're being abandoned a little bit by people in your life, which similar to what Lissa was talking about. This might be some interpersonal changes in your life. That doesn't mean it's bad though. It just might be uncomfortable during the transition. What is going to be propelling you into this? And it's funny because I don't use this deck a lot, and I could almost, like, I was struggling to figure out what this was. So it's the Two of Pentacles in reverse, which is obvious to me now, but at the time I had no idea. So what's going to propel you into this situation that you're experiencing is, I think, to what it feels like to me, and what it typically would be, is like you're overcommitting yourself a little bit to things in your life. And because of that, you're going to be overwhelmed, and it's going to cause stress and strain in your life. And the way that you're handling that situation within your interpersonal relationships might be less than graceful, but that's okay because we're humans. We all go through phases. And don't be too hard on yourself about that, because what you're going to be learning from this experience is the Two of Wands. So this is a lot of like propelling yourself forward into the next thing. It's going to be an opportunity for you to like kind of start fresh, move forward, and really have some like self discovery and know yourself more authentically, which who doesn't want that, right? And then your message from your guides, from spirit, um, is basically, it says I'm sorry. But what this feels like to me isn't like they're saying they're sorry, but they're more looking at this being a period of transition for you, and it will be difficult, but they are here and supporting you.
I also feel, because I can't help but go back to when I was in this energy. When you do that, that Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is like looking off into the future and being ready to step into the new thing, the passionate thing. Um, you leave people behind when you do that. So I think that do you see goosebumps, you guys? It's like, it's painful, and a lot of us will keep ourselves in situations long past their expiration date because we don't want to be in that. Will you put that I'm sorry card up again?
Sure.
Just the feeling of that card is like, a lot of us will stay in situations for a long time past their expiration date because we don't want to be in that energy. We're afraid of that energy, and it's okay to just be in it and be
Yeah.
sorry and be like, I gotta do me.
You're not a villain for having to move forward, and you're not a villain for making mistakes, and you're not the bad guy. I mean, maybe you are the bad guy, but don't be like hard on yourself about it, because you have to sometimes really set your boundaries, and sometimes you have to be the bad guy, and it's okay. Someone has to sometimes, and that doesn't mean that you were bad or wrong. You were just moving forward in your life. Like a band aid that got stuck, and you really had to pull it off.
Do you know what I just realized? I need to address this so that Megan's not confused. My group switched without me realizing it.
Oh, really?
Maybe you didn't even notice that, but like yeah, before we were talking about the different groups and whatnot, and I didn't realize it, but I already knew that my groups 2 and 3, I wasn't sure which was which. And then just as we're doing this, it wasn't until you were reading yours, Megan, that I was like, oh, okay, 3 was 2 and 2 was 3. So interesting how tarot works. Okay.
Yeah, my 1 and 3. I was kind of like, did I pull it group one, group two, group three, or did I do group three, group two, group one? I knew group two was group two.
I just like how spirit will make it work. Like,
Yeah.
but of course, it could have only happened in the moment as I was grabbing. So, okay. So moving on to group 3, which I need to. Where are we at? 2144.
Man, we are
Um,
really wham bamming it.
Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, group 3. Okay. Overall energy for you is agape. This is an initiation in this deck. Something I didn't address that I feel the need to address now is this deck has archetypes. So there's the tools, there's the personalities, and then there's the initiations. I think there's another one too, but it's not really relevant right now. This is an initiation. And is that true? Let me make sure that's correct. um, I'm pretty sure it's an initiation, but I just want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yeah, it's an initiation. This is where you find your higher power in something outside of yourself. So a lot of us turn inward to find the thing. This is saying that doing that, I can feel people getting this, doing that may keep you in a loop, like a cyclical loop that's not serving you. And that for this type of card, it may be that your God is in the mountains. Excuse me, that your God is in a vast open desert or the sea. And to really work on reconnecting with yourself in this initiation phase towards reconnecting with the earth, which makes sense because here you have the Emperor in reverse and the Tower in reverse. The Emperor in reverse is somebody who is controlling and unable to go with the flow of the universe and needing to like impose his will in order to be happy and needing to control himself and other people. The Emperor, when he's off his throne, essentially, like think of that energy. And the Tower in reverse is when there's a gigantic change that's not taking place. And the Emperor, oh, I'm getting waves of like, wow. The Emperor and the Empress are the mother and the father of tarot. So the Emperor in reverse is a very intense energy, and this is sort of channeled. The Emperor in reverse absolutely has the power to stop the tower from falling. He has that power. Then we have the Five of Swords upright. The story of the Five of Swords is somebody who goes along the battlefield and picks up swords from other people who have lost battle. So instead of gaining their own swords, they're sort of picking up swords from others who have lost. And that's not good, bad, right, or wrong. That's literally just not creating your own path. That's it. And then you have the sun upright. And the sun, this is the second time the sun has shown up in today's like overall energies. And the sun is ultimate happiness. So it feels to me like there's this vice grip on this thing. And again, this is energy of February, so it's not like a lifelong thing. But there's this vice grip on something that's preventing the tower from falling, which spirit, universe, what have you, thinks is kind of hilarious because your happiness isn't there anyways. So, that being said, Megan, what's the story?
Alrighty. So for group three, I want to address the fact that a lot of yours kind of was in like a place of water energy, and almost all of my cards have water imagery in them. So for
Maybe
you, I
more
currently
a.
have where you are. You're in kind of a really good place, I think, on the surface level. So you're at a cusp of a big turning point for yourself. So this is the wheel, and it feels like everything's kind of like coming up you. Everything's really lining up for you. Everything's falling into place, and it's an opportunity for you to really grow and expand. But it feels like you have kind of some like a solid footing under your ground, but it almost feels like you're not sure if that's your footing or not, if you can trust it. Is it like a really solid and stable, um, bridge, or is it kind of wobbly and you're kind of afraid to like walk past it? Is the energy that I'm getting. For where you are going, I have that next month is going to be propelling you into something that feels kind of fast paced. You're going to be experiencing some movement in your life. You're going to be experiencing some changes that are coming from what might feel like a little bit of a scary place because it's going so quickly, but it's really leading you into alignment. And if you allow yourself to fall into flow, I think that this is going to be a really beautiful energy of like creation for you. What propels you though into this place of alignment, into this beautiful creation energy is resting, chilling the fuck out, which I know I personally struggle with this a lot. But it's really getting into nature feels important for you, getting into a space of actual relaxation. I'm not talking about like, ooh, I had a day off from work and I just like hung out. I'm talking about relaxation where you actually get to like disconnect from the world. It feels important that you have solitude and silence to really propel you forward. And then where you are going to be, or the lessons that you're going to learn from this is that you're going to be doing a lot of inner child work. I think that the act of resting for you is going to be a struggle, and you're going to have to relearn how to play and how to really like self soothe in this process, and like what your boundaries are and stuff. But it feels really directly tied to your inner child. So it's okay. You're going to be okay, and just enjoy the ride because it feels like it's going to somewhere really beautiful for you this month. And then your message from Spirit, a new earth, which is just basically it's an opportunity for you to start fresh. It's an opportunity for you to really move forward, and your world's going to look different in March than it does in February. The
I feel
end.
that strongly for group 3. And also, I would like to point out how the sun card here for me, what you were saying, inner child work, it's like, oh yeah, big time. And also with these energies here, like look at how tired he is, that emperor that's off his throne. And can you guys see that? And the tower that's just burning, burning, burning. It feels to me like with what Megan's saying that as soon as you give yourself that it's very counterintuitive, but it feels like as soon as you give yourself that time to rest, that's when it's like I hear it like whoosh, like whoosh. Like everything just sort of comes in. And I'm almost wondering with this card here, if you take time to rest in nature, like if that's maybe how you decide to do it, because that's what this card alludes to, and this is the overall energy. So if you're someone that is thinking, that's watching this, that's thinking about like taking a little mini trip somewhere to go just relax and be in nature, this is your confirmation that hells yeah, make that time, because allowing that time for yourself is going to be the thing that burns that tower to the ground to allow all that energy to come in. And also, it's where you do that inner child work, which might just be crying, truly, like
You
literally just
saying
feeling
that,
feelings.
I was listening to an episode of Stuff You Should Know last night as we were falling asleep, and it was all about tantrums, specifically like the psychology that goes into them, and then like the various studies that have been done on children that are experiencing them, and then when it's normal versus when it's not, and how to soothe and all of that. And I thought the whole time I was just thinking about how good it would feel as an adult, as a 30-year-old adult, to just lay down on my floor and let myself throw a full on little kid tantrum for no reason, just to like get those feelings out. And that felt important to share because maybe you guys also should do it. Because it's kind of like laughing yoga, but it's like inner pent up emotion yoga, like inner release.
Did you know that they have rage rooms now? I think that's what
Yes,
they're
I want
called.
to go to one so badly.
Um, yeah, there's these rooms that exist. I realize, and we stop there. People are like, "What the fuck is a rage room?" So there's rooms now, and when you think about divine masculine, divine feminine energy, that would be something cool to exist. Is a divine counterpart healing sanctuary where you have a tantrum room and a rage room. So a rage room is literally just a room filled with things that you can break and destroy. And you like scream, and there's like literal like TVs and hammers, and you just like, and not just that, but like all kinds of stuff that you can break, and you just rage. And then it would be nice if there was also a tantrum room that was just sort of like a padded room where you can't hurt yourself, that you're just in alone, where you can just scream and cry, because that feels very divine feminine energy, is like emotional release, whereas it feels like divine masculine would be destroying, like releasing as opposed to destroying. So yeah,
I often think about how
whatever you need
nice
to
it
do.
would be to be in a position to where you could scream, like actually scream. Just a good visceral into the void.
Do you know there was I just saw, did you see that Facebook post about screaming?
No.
There was with all these like mandates and everything going on, there's a lot of moms and teachers too. Was it teachers or this was moms? This was about moms, but like I have a lot of teachers in my family, and what the system is going through right now in terms of having to deal with all of what's necessary to be in school. And it doesn't matter, like, there's no sides on this. It's literally just hard to be in school right now. That's it, across the board. If you're a kid, if you're a teacher, if you're a parent, being in the school system right now is incredibly difficult, stressful, emotionally overwhelming. Just like being at an in-person job or work at all is also, like, the whole system is just struggling. Barely hanging on by a thread, if that. And so anyways, a group of moms decided, one mom like jokingly said, "Hey, do you all just want to go to the football field or soccer field or whatever it was in the middle of the night and scream?" And it was kind of a joke, and all these moms did it. They were like, "Yes." And so there's these pictures of these moms all lined up, and they're just screaming. They're just screaming at the top of their lungs, and it's like in the middle of the night. And I thought that was so beautiful, because yeah, oh my God, I would feel so powerless as a parent right now, because you can't do, like, there's so little you can do. And you just want what's best for your child. And like how difficult it would be to have your child participate in a system that neither of you have control over at such a dangerous, scary time, you know? So I thought that was really beautiful. And I think that that's taking power back in a way, because you're able to really express what's going on and release it.
Yes. Absolutely. So maybe group 3 gets to go scream in the woods.
Yes. Group 3, go scream in the woods. Or punch your TV with a hammer. You can't punch with a hammer, but you know what I mean. And you know what? Yeah, maybe do that. We don't need TVs.
Yeah.
Don't do, yeah.
But I feel like it has to be like a CRT, like older TV, so it makes that good like
Crunch.
it makes the sound whenever the gases release, and that would be really satisfying.
You don't even know how much you just told people how smart you are.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious. So many of us are like, I'm sorry, gas out of a TV? What?
Well, they've changed a
What?
lot. But the older ones, whenever you break them, there's your like a seal breaks, and then it makes a nice sound.
Got it. That's so funny.
Technology's cool.
It is. I think that was really cool. I think that those messages were very clear.
Yes.
For anyone new here, if you happen to be new watching this, if you just popped on, these readings are different every time. So sometimes they're just one overall energy. Sometimes there's 5 groups. Sometimes there's 3 groups. And today felt very succinct, concise, and to the point. So hopefully there was messages in there for you. It felt like there definitely were. And thanks for letting us be present in your energy.
Yes.
It felt
Thank
good.
you very much.
And
Hope
happy
that you guys are all
222.
having a wonderful
222, Megan. Yeah. Okay.
day. Jazzy, fun, and fresh.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.